great noontide, when man is in the middle of his course between animal and superman, and celebrateth his advance to the evening as his highest hope, for it is the advance to a new morning. At such time will the down-goer bless himself that he should be an overgoer. The sun of his knowledge will be at noontide. Dead are all the gods. Now do we desire the Superman to live. Let this be our final will at the great noontide. Final will at the great noontide. Thus spoke Zarathustra. Welcome back. Our good friend the Shade didn't seem to have anything to actually contribute to that one. He also doesn't want to get out of his fucking... Oh, I need to close this, don't I? There we go. There we go. So, I don't doubt for a second yet, we're now 18 days. 18 whole days into this little session. So, we should now be able to go get the Matic. I want to try doing this. And off he goes. So I'm free to just sort of hang out, to just sort of kick back and relax and watch my little boy walk and not have to cautiously guide him back and forth up the zigzaggy obnoxiousness that is staircases. Particularly this staircase, because god damn this staircase, my dude. God damn this staircase and all it stands for. But now that my throat is clear, It's not. I'm definitely going to clear my throat again, but for now my throat is clear, so let me elaborate from this point. We should have access to the Matic today. We also should have the door at the very north of the whole region open. That opened 2 hours after we clicked it, but obviously I wasn't around at the time to come back to that, so we can go back to that now. I don't know if we'll get a chance to do that today, though, because we're going to be busy. We're going to be busy with that Matic. There's so many places in this game that have, oh, if only I had a Matic at me, you know? I can't remember what half of them are at this point, unfortunately, but a lot of it will become clear. There was definitely a few places in, like, the room we're going to get into very soon, the, like, crystally hallway bit. There's the big, glass window into the gold room. It looked like I could smash that with the Matic, potentially. It might have been something else. There's definitely something in that room we could use the Matic on there. There was also the 2 blue crystals in the room with the face. Probably some other stuff. Definitely some other stuff. The important thing to remember, important takeaway from all this, is that we are going to do new things today. I really didn't think we'd be able to, I really thought there'd be a lot more waiting around, honestly. Like, this is the 4th episode. I've been out of action a few days with the cold, so I have given the game a little bit of a chance to sort of progress. But, hang on, can I just drive by this coal? Pick up. Guess not. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. I got distracted by the coal. What was I going to say? I think I was just commenting generally on the fact that, yeah, we're actually progressing a lot faster with this game than I thought I would. I mean, obviously, we're still not even 5% of the way through the game. Yeah, 40 days would be 10%, wouldn't it? So 20 would be 5. That makes sense. That's good maths. So obviously, there's still a lot to go. But we've passed the 2 week, considerably past the 2 week mark, nearly at the 3 week mark, in fact, in an amount of time that was actually considerably less than that. So who knows if there's more ways of accelerating time even faster than it currently is, to the point where, you know, I might be able to blink and miss a month at some point. Who knows? At the very least, though, it looks like there's going to be a consistent flow of new things to explore and discover in this game, which is pretty cool, pretty good. Yeah, I want to see where the use-matic interaction was along here, because there definitely was one. There definitely was. Look, right there. Like, that can only be used for smashing the glass, right? Surely. There's nothing else around here. There's nothing else we could be mining. Right. 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 I might take over in a second. I don't know if I can, like, rip back control from the autopilot here. I'm hoping I can. Because he's not... In fact, we're already kind of going off course a bit, aren't we, from where I want to be. Yeah, I can just stop him and make him turn around. That's cool. That's good to know. We'll do that then. We'll do that. It's time to be going places. Yeah, I did have, well, I do still have a third game I want to be let's put in alongside this and Lunacid. I was expecting to be playing this a lot less. Go up, you horrible cretin. You foul little creature. I really should have remembered his room as a place of interest before I walked all the way up here, shouldn't I? That would have been a really smart thing to do. Anyway. Yeah, there's another game I want to be playing. So that game may end up just getting completely backseated until I finish this one. Kind of hard to say for certain how much of my time this game's likely to be taking up. I guess we'll find out eventually, though. I don't even know if I'm going in the right direction anymore, man. No, I was meant to have gone up in that last room, wasn't I? Ugh, gross. You'll note in the last video I accidentally walked to the place I'm trying to walk to now, like, twice. This time I can't get there when I'm trying. It's just typical, that really, isn't it? Just typical. Pretty certain it's this up here, though. Pretty certain. I wonder if I can get the moss after I land on it. If I can collect that moss for feeding to the face later. I mean, I won't be able to jump off again, but it depends what sort of new wonders there are to behold down here. Whether it's literally just you get the mattock and then you leave, or if there's a bunch of new areas to explore beyond here. Because the stuff beyond the stalactite was fairly minor, right? I mean, obviously the face seems to have some sort of potential. The response we got for feeding him 20 coal was not the most exciting thing I've ever read in my life, but you know, there's potential for more answers. It could be one of those things where, like, the face isn't actually, like, I was accepting the face as being like an actual entity, because, like, the king of this place is a giant made of earth, right? So a wall with a face that speaks to you isn't completely outlandish. But it is entirely possible it's just a face carved in a wall, and the shade is sort of hallucinating or speaking on the wall's behalf or whatever, and he's really just answering his own questions by doing that. I might be reading too much into it, though. Do it. Wow, that was a surprisingly soft landing, you're right. You know, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, it probably was a bad idea, but I've done it now. I'll grow back again in 2 weeks anyway. I only need one more to speak to the face, and I'm sure that's going to be much more worthwhile than having access to this entire section of the game, right? 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 The beauty of this waterfall reminds me why I love to serve the king. Oh, it's getting pretty deep. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine, he's emerging from the other end. Is this not a dead end? Oh, I need to go back and grab the Matic. Ah, fuck. I thought this was just going to be a dead end cave. I just walk to the other end of it and go, yeah, that's nice, and then leave. Once the king awakens, all this beauty will be immortalized forever. That's nice. I mean, it's like geodes and rock formations and shit. Like, I don't think it's going anywhere. I mean, okay, it will eventually. Eventually, like after the... Maybe not after the sun dies out, but, you know, millions of years from now. But I think its longevity is pretty much assured. It's rocks, my dude. Don't have to be too concerned about the rocks, I don't think. Pick up. A handy matic useful for harvesting minerals and for breaking through fragile walls. So maybe it doesn't matter if I took that moss, because maybe I'll be able to make myself a shortcut back here. We clearly have a lot to explore over here, so who knows? We'll see what we see. Soundtrack on this game is pretty cool, I've got to say. I am a sucker for a half-decent soundtrack, I really am. All it needs to do is, like, it doesn't even need to be, like, particularly strong music for listening to in its own context. It just has to, like, really emphasise the piece of chalk will be able to post about. Okay, I've already got a piece of white chalk, that's fine. It just needs to be suitable at, like, reinforcing the atmosphere that the game's aiming for, you know? That's really all it needs to achieve. If I jump down here, am I going to be able to get back up? Yes, good. Okay, let's see what's this way then. It's all a bit moist over here, so I'm hoping, in fact, that is some moss right there, isn't it? 20 moss, beautiful. I don't know if moss has any other purpose beyond beyond feeding to the face, but can't hurt to keep collecting it, can it? No harm in having things. Things are good. I thought this was going somewhere, but now I'm starting to think it's just going to loop back down on the lower part of that cave. Can't just walk off to the right here, can we? No. I've been fooled by that a few times in this game so far, so I'm sort of being careful to thoroughly investigate things this time around. I once dreamed that I was the king myself. What a beautiful dream that was. My dude, right now you kind of are. The ruler of the ruins. King of all he surveys. Okay, I mean, you are a bit lacking in peasantry, but you don't need subjects just to be a king. Be a king of yourself. You can be the king. You can be Elvis Presley himself, the king of rock and roll. This crystal is pretty tough, it will take some time to break it off. Okay, so I can leave him mining now in order to get resources. That's probably going to be what a lot of this is going to boil down to, isn't it? There's going to be quite a bit of this, I foresee. I'm not just going to sit here and watch this. If it had broken within like the first sort of 15-20 seconds, then fair enough. But I feel like this is this is obviously going to take a while. This is the sort of thing that I literally just need to go away and come back to later. But good to know. Good to know. I don't know what we use crystals for, to be honest with you. I don't really know what the purpose of them is. There's also a lot of things I don't really know the purpose of in this game so far, and I'm sure it will all become clear in time. Also in parsley, sage, and rosemary. Look, at least I make myself laugh. Say what you like, but as long as I'm entertaining myself, then was it really a waste of time? Yeah, I'm a bit concerned we won't be able to get back here ever again. Well, until the moss grows again, obviously, now that we've taken that moss. Because I don't think having a mattock is going to allow us to get up here, because this is just a cliff, right? We couldn't climb up from the other direction. Yeah, I might have done a silly there. Unless we can, like, mine this cliff down so it becomes a gentle slope going up, you know? Is there any sort of interaction we can do here? No? No. Okay. Well, if we want crystals, we're gonna have to wait another 2 weeks. I've learnt my lesson though, it's fine. Right, what we're gonna do... we're gonna return to the face. I know, I'm sure you're the same as me, and you're just desperate to know what happens if we try and smash that glass with the mattock and get all the filthy, filthy riches, but at the same time I don't think filthy, filthy riches hold much value, right? I feel like if we break that glass, all we're gonna do is have coins everywhere, kind of underfoot, like someone's left Lego all over the floor, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like it's going to be particularly productive, because like the Shade has already acknowledged when we walked past there in the first place, like, I have no use for all this wealth. He's not Scrooge McDuck, he's not going to go fucking backstroking through it. I'd actually have a lot more respect for billionaires if they actually did that. If they kept all of their worldly wealth, all of their unsurmountable billions of dollars just in coinage form, just in a big money pit somewhere. I don't know, there's something just hilariously cartoonishly evil about that it's hard to dislike. You know what I mean? Like how like the Bond villains are always the most interesting characters. You know what I mean? James Bond is like the most wooden, unemotive, unrelatable, inhuman creature I have ever seen. But the villains, they're characters, you know what I mean? They're the Dr. Evils of their franchise, right? If we got a bit more of that out of Jeff Bezos, then I wouldn't want to play bongos with his shiny little head quite so much, you know? I'd be like, okay, yeah, he's evil, but look at him. Look at him being silly. I guess, to be fair, Elon Musk is silly all the time, and we all clown on him as well, so, I don't know. Maybe you just can't win. If you have that much wealth, then I'm just going to not like you. I can't help it, I'm sorry. Unless one day I get that much wealth, and then in which case it'll be perfectly fine and just. That's the only way. That's the only way to make being a billionaire in any way like justifiable is if I'm a billionaire. That's it. That's the only way. drop me a billion and I'll stop moaning at you. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. Just one little billion. Like, you know, Elon Musk paid 43 of those for Twitter. Can't throw me one. Imagine what I could do with a billion. Make a big money pit. That's what I'd do. Why'd you turn around? Oh, because my cursor was over that side. That makes sense, I guess. Hello, Mr. Face. I'm just curious. I'm assuming this is also going to take time, is it? Yeah, it'll take some time to break it off. Break it off. I don't have that sort of time right now, unfortunately. What will happen after the 400 days? As long as there is time, there will always be longing. And once all longing has ended, the world will no longer need time, and those without longing will no longer need the world. Wow. That was worth all of the time and supplies I invested into discovering that answer, for sure. For sure it was. I'm still going to try and find out the... Try and get those last two disappointments so I can get the answer to the last one, though. I'm still going to do that. Even if there's no gameplay reward for doing so, it's a thing to do, so I must do it. I must have my cryptic non-answers. It's what I live for. Right. Now comes the fun part, also known as trying to remember where the hell the exit was. Was it this middle door here? I know it was above the map, but I can't remember where the map was. I found it quite easily last time I was looking for it. This sort of area feels like it would make sense. It's probably not correct, but it feels like it would make sense. And yeah, I mean, that's good enough for me, frankly. Just ride the vibe. Look at that. Vibes always pay off, 100% of the time. Logic's never done shit for me, says the guy who works professionally as a programmer. Logic has never done shit for me. I rely solely on vibes. No, it's weird because as someone who works as works in a field that is essentially like number crunching and trying to do things optimally and everything, you'd think my taste in games would be a lot more like, you know, like civilization style things, like 4X games, lots of like really complex spreadsheety sort of games. Stuff where there's like a clear like meta strategy or whatever to figure out, but I really am more about the vibe games. I don't know, maybe it's because I have a job that's more focused around things like that, and when I get away from that job I want something that's a complete departure from it. I don't know, but like a game that is compelling tonally will always be more enjoyable to me than a game that is compelling like functionally, if you know what I mean. Not that a strong gameplay loop doesn't draw me in, because it does, but not necessarily a complex gameplay loop, right? That's not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for something fun and something, as I say, vibes. I'm looking for vibes. I love some vibes. I will rag on Gen Z as much as the next millennial, but the word vibes is one I am wholeheartedly just stealing for myself. Big fan of that one. They nailed it with that term. Holy shit, there's so much more. The caves are cold and desolate. Okay. Just gonna... That, yeah, cool. Okay. So we have a means of getting back here from wherever we end up. And we have a means of getting back to here in future attempts of coming out in this direction. I really was not expecting more in this direction, though. I really wasn't. I was not expecting more world to explore. I think today may be the first time we leave the shade outside of his house. King seems to have abandoned this area a long time ago. I think maybe we find some ore or something. We find a crystal for him to mine and leave him doing that. Because we're going to be a real long way from where he wants to be, you know? A drop-off cliff there. I'm trying to work out if we can go up here and climb, but once again, getting him to walk into the, like, walk off the foreground, yeah, that's what I was trying to say, is more difficult than it has any right to be. Climb. Okay. Okay, more up. I really thought getting the Matic would be the thing that opened up all the new opportunities for us, but it turns out it was just opening this door the whole time. This was the thing we wanted to do. This was where the wonders are to behold. And by wonders, I mean empty grey hallways for the most part, but... Climb? Looks like it's the end of my journey. I could try to move the stone over there, but that would be a miserable task. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, you know? I think it would be. Oh, I have to hold click on it the whole time. Oh my fucking god. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, alright, fair enough. Really is a game that sets out to punish its players. It really is. The overarching gameplay idea of the 400 days that you're waiting and things advance around you while that's happening is cool. But having tasks like this that are just nothing, you have to actively be here doing nothing for an extended period of time. I don't know, man. I don't know about these ones. Leaving us in suspense for 400 days, cool. Making me just hold a button down for, what, 2 minutes or whatever. Less cool. Not about the time scale, it's about what you're doing within that time scale, right? The king will not like this adventurous spirit of mine. What's the king gonna do about it? He's asleep. Not gonna stop you, is he, pal? I guess no to that piece of coal. That one's off limits. I've just walked past that one, never mind. do I spy with my little eye? Is that blue chalk? Definitely worth coming up here then. Absolutely fuck the king in this case. Oh, it's lapis lazuli. Okay. That is the blue chalk, but it's also the stuff that you burn to make blue flames, apparently. There is nothing here. Nothing. 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 There is, however, a disappointment. Honestly, like, least disappointing dead end I've ever seen. I got lapis lazuli in there, and got a disappointment. Win-win as far as I'm concerned. If these are the only two things I got from coming through the door and leaving the palace, then yeah, sure, score. That is the point. If I don't go back home today, that means we don't get a picture for the wall today. That would be a shame, but like walking back to his house from here would probably take the rest of this video, and I kind of want to keep exploring, so we keep exploring. I will surrender to my whims. If I set myself a hard limit of having to return to the little bedroom every single video, then I'm just never going to get shit done. The cave seems to be gigantic. I wonder if it reaches all the way up to the outside world. I mean, that would be pretty cool. Doesn't look like I'm going to get to go much further though. Does seem like I'm somewhat limited. Oh, actually, we can climb web. We could climb web, or alternatively, we could get this nice little bit of flint over here. I do wonder if there's any more purpose to flint besides just starting fires, because it seems relatively common. I mean, I found 4 of them, right? Can we climb the web? Apparently, yes. Bear in mind, this is one path of the 4 that we had access to when we first came through the door. Can't get up there, but something in that web. Is that a spider? A little spider? Have we found life? Finally, another living creature. Maybe this little spider will be my friend. Oh, that's why the spider portrait's called Friend. Makes sense. Look at him. It does sort of imply that we're somewhere near the surface as well, right? Because, I mean, it's got to be building a web in a location where there's flies, you would think. Probably aren't many of them deep underground in a place with no living creatures. He said something about the adventure, but I didn't read it. I was too busy pondering on what the spider was eating. How realistic is it that there could be a spider this deep underground without any sources of nutrients? Well, here's a 45-minute breakdown into why exactly this spider could not possibly be alive in the longing. I'm going to try and catch him. He's going to be my little pet who lives on my head. Oh, hello there, friend. Oh no. Broke his web. I just feel kind of bad about that. Where's he going? I want to explore, but I also kind of just want to see where Friend's going. My only friend the spider is crafting a web. I can climb it once it's strong enough for my fragile body. This could take days. Interesting. Okay. Good job, friend. I'll let you keep doing that. I guess I'll go explore what I missed over this way. Turns out destroying his home has paid off for me big style. God, Friend is such a legend. Never have I become more attached to an NPC character in a video game so quickly. And it's a fucking 4 pixels of a spider. Crazy how that can be the case. I've not been this way yet. I've not been so many places yet, man. So many places. So many wonders to behold. So many drab grey wonders. Oh. That is a little bit of a wonder. We will come back to this, I think, at the end of the video. That's my take on that. Unless we find something else worth mining in the meantime. But a little bit of rose quartz would be a lovely addition to my collection, I think. No, I legitimately haven't seen any use for any sort of crystal or anything so far, so I'm intrigued to see what I can do with it. If anything. Possible this route will just zigzag back down again and join up with one of the other branches we haven't connected to. Or it might just be a dead end. It seems to be getting progressively narrower. Don't think I can fit through there. Might get a disappointment though. I'm committed to the disappointment. Just like in real life. Dead end, if there ever was one. Now I have 5 disappointments. Fucking A. Next time I see that cliff-faced wall monster, I'm gonna give him all of my disappointment, and he's going to fucking love it. He's gonna eat it up. Make a right meal out of it. Wash it down with some moss and coal. So this sort of... In fact, I might just... send him walking. Because I don't think there's anything between here and the entrance to the entrance to the exit to the palace. I don't think there's been anything since then. What's his problem? What's he doing? Keep walking, pal. I don't think there's been any other turn-offs since then. I think they've all been back down there, so might as well just trace our steps back again, and if I see anything worth splitting off for, then I shall split off. Be a shame to leave those crystals behind, but I'm not quite ready to wrap up yet, so might as well start walking back. There's not really much to wait around here for unless we're planning on just sort of sitting here and waiting for that web to finish getting built. Which it said a few days. I don't know how long a few days is likely to actually be, whether that's like 2 days or like 20 days. Like there's no... I would assume it's less than a week, or else it probably would have measured it in weeks. I don't know though. Hard to say. I don't know the exact rulings around what they describe time as. I don't know if there even is any rulings, so... all I can really do is try and remember that this exists, which might be a struggle, but I'll do my best, and come back at some point. How could I forget Friend, realistically? The answer is I couldn't. Could never forget Friend. The industrious little spider. This guy is, I mean, he is a shade, I suppose. He is essentially made of shadows, so he probably doesn't weigh a great deal. But the fact that he can climb up and down spider webs is quite impressive. I'm quite a skinny dude, but I don't think I could do that. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, say I don't think a spider web could support my body weight. I know, truly astounding that I can make such an assumption, but yeah, I think that's the case, honestly. I do. Did I go right here, do you think? Yeah, right here was where I found the lapis, right? Yeah, I remember. Just keep on moving downwards then. I'm sure it will, because what possible realistic reason could they have for it to do otherwise? But I really hope this rock stays where I leave it. Really hope I don't have to push it back here every time I want to come back up here again. I'm sure it'll be fine. If it's moved, I'm blaming Friend. That little spider's clearly got one in for me if that boulder has moved even the slightest inch. I guess maybe like rainwater. The way these tunnels are shaped, you would imagine they flood quite easily. Depends what the surface opening's like though, I suppose. If it's another solid stone door, sort of perfectly vacuum sealing closed, then it's probably not going to be a lot getting through it, is there? Okay, nearly back at the bottom. That didn't take that long, I suppose. Couple minutes. And by the bottom, I mean the very top of the palace, but the bottom of this specific set of rooms. That's the important thing. Okay, here we are. So yeah, there's still two offshoots to the left and one right here to the right, which I think I'm going to commit to. Just so we can say we've, you know, at least looked at the right. I don't know if we'll do all of the right today. Depends how much there is down here, I suppose. I mean, realistically, we can't go down too much, or else we'll be back inside the palace again, right? There seems to be an old mine down here. Maybe a good place to find some useful things. Okay, actually, though. Now we're talking. I did want to leave off doing some mining, and this could be a very reasonable opportunity to do so. So. Ooh, a piece of candy. Digging up the 2004 Family Guy bits. Oh, wood. Shit. I didn't realise we could take those for wood. That's actually very interesting. Wood's been like a rare resource so far, and suddenly we're fucking swimming in the stuff. Oh, I'll need some moss. Moss and wood to make a bed. Possibly some other stuff. Do you think we can take these support beams? We can just run off. There's another mattock here. Hang on. Wait a second. I worked so hard to get that mattock. You can't just give me a second one immediately. That's inexcusable. I mean, to be fair, I can't actually seem to get down to that. Seems to be no easy way down. Correct. I don't see any, like, opportunity to mine the floor or anything. Okay, so much for the mine. I had high hopes for this place, but it's another place to show you a mattock and not let you take one, I suppose. I mean, realistically, I could have come here on day one, right? Not the way I record videos, but someone playing this game could have gotten straight to the top of the palace, set the door opening, gone and had dinner, you know, had a poo, come back, door open, come straight up here. Hey, look, a mattock, that's cool. Could have been their first experience with one. But not me, that's not how I do things. I have my own special way of doing things around here, which involves waiting 2 weeks. We do have to be thinking about wrapping up, though. And I feel like if we are going to leave him, we should leave him mining something. I just don't know where I'm likely to find anything to mine at short notice. Oh, it's possible there just isn't anything off to the left here. Possible both of these paths are just nothing. Is that true? Is that true, both of these paths? Are you both nothing? Nothing here. Disappointment number 6. And this one seems an awful lot like nothing as well, if I'm being honest. Okay. A veritable wealth of disappointment today. I've more than doubled my stock of disappointments, which is not usually something I gloat about, but in this context, well, hell yes, man. I don't know if they're used for anything besides feeding into the wall either, but yeah. Find a thing, do a thing. Why not? Okay, you just start walking towards the wall face. And if we see a crystal on the way, we'll get you mining it and call it a day. You're not going home today, unfortunately, Mr. Shade. I'm wondering if there's any particular reason to pick up again soon. I guess I want to finish mining. I want to see what else we can mine. Still haven't smashed that glass towards the coinage. Yeah, I think we should probably come back to this, you know, the usual time. Do a Lunacid video and then come back to this one on the next time I record. So we won't leave him too long. Working for the sweat of his brow. Hopefully. Depends if I get sick again, to be fair. I've been doing that a lot lately. I don't know, we're, what, a month and a half into this year and I've already been sick twice. It's been a rough one. I think it's because this winter's been so, like, weirdly brutal. Like, we've had some ridiculous weather. It's almost like there's, like, a climate crisis or something. Almost. I'm not one to believe such conspiracy theories, though. Till I literally see a polar ice cap melt in front of me, then the climate crisis isn't real. Sorry. It's that time in the video where I'm just saying words again, isn't it? Oh damn, I just want to find a rock to mine. Is it that much to ask? Clearly, yes. Yes, it is. You can do it, Shade. You can reach your destination before this video runs into an hour. I believe in you. Down from here, mate. He's listening to me, every word I say, you know. That's why he's got that vacant look in his eyes. He's trying to think up of a way of excusing himself from the conversation. Just staring into the mid-distance, hoping to catch someone else's attention so they can pull him out of this. This session of one-sided rambling. To be fair, he'd be welcome to ramble back at me, he's just not very good at that. He just says, let's go, and then just walks solemnly for like 15 minutes. I guess it's down to interpretation exactly how the inflection is on that sentence though, right? It could either be a, let's go, or a, let's go! You know, like, yeah. Maybe he's a lot more energetic than I'm giving him credit for. Seems unlikely though. Shall we see what the wall has to say before we call it a day? Since we've come this far. Let's hear the final nugget of advice. I'm sure it will be truly life-changing. What lies beyond this cave? Beyond this cave there is light. Light is beautiful and dangerous. Light is without understanding. Don't trust the childish eyes of the young, they will fear you. Only trust the old and blind, who are not afraid of that which emerges from the darkness. Okay. A little bit off-putting, but sure. Right, get mining. And I'll see both you and the Shade soon enough. Bye for now.